Okay, well, good evening, guys. My name is Jacob Grabowski, and tonight we will be talking about bullying in middle school. It seems as though bullying has always been something that happens in schools. It's almost like a culture. As far back as I can remember, you see it on television, in movies, on the news, and you read about it in the papers all the time. Well, what is bullying? Bullying, by definition, is any unwanted aggressive behavior by another youth or group of youths who are not siblings or current dating partners that involves an observed or perceived power imbalance and is repeated multiple times or is highly likely to be repeated. The key parts of this definition are power imbalance and repetition. School is supposed to be somewhere a child can learn and grow. How is someone supposed to do this when they're being bullied? Bullied children are scared and often feel helpless. Children who consistently feel these emotions are likely to have lower self-esteem and highly likely to perform worse in school. Let's talk about the different types of bullying that occur. For my paper, I discussed three main forms of bullying. First, we will discuss physical bullying. This is the most observable, and it's when someone pushes or trips or punches somebody intentionally. Many of us have seen this before. It could be someone pushing someone into a locker, or the bigger kid picking on a smaller kid at recess or after school, and it's more common in boys than girls. Now let's talk about the second form of bullying, verbal bullying. Verbal bullying is when another student, by way of speech or written, harmfully targets another. This could be another student teasing, name calling, passing a note, laughing, or pointing. It's more prevalent in middle school than physical bullying. This makes sense because it's easier to pass a note or make a quick comment about somebody than it is to intentionally push someone into a locker. When you do that, you might get a bigger reaction, but with that bigger reaction, there's a more likelihood of you getting caught. On the surface, it might not seem as intrusive, but it can be just as harmful. Imagine going to school and you're getting made fun of, you're getting teased, and you're trying to escape the situation, and then someone trips you. Now you become even more embarrassed. Combinations of physical and verbal bullying happen all the time. Now let's talk about, let's say, the up and coming form of bullying, which is my third form, which is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying takes place on devices like computers, cell phones, or tablets. It could be a text message, a message on social media, an email. It even happens on online gaming sites. The startling thing is it only takes seconds. One push of a button or a click of a mouse and the message is out for thousands of eyes. Now, once this happens, it can be deleted, but the harm has already occurred. We ask the question, why is this happening? Why are children being bullied? If we put it simply, bullying happens because someone is different. A child could be quiet, tall, skinny, overweight, wear glasses, or just wear different clothes. It's something against the norm. But what is normal? Who titles something as different? Let's face it, height, skin color, hair color, eyesight, they're completely uncontrollable by that person. You're born like that. Yet these people are being bullied. They're being taken advantage of for things that they cannot control. Now let's talk about the effects that are happening to these children. They're pretty widespread. They have a higher likelihood of being depressed, having suicidal thoughts. Again, they're at worse, to perform in school. A startling statistic is that children who are cyberbullied are 8 more times likely to bring a weapon to school. 8 more times likely. To think that if someone didn't make a post on Facebook that a school shooting might not have occurred is unfathomable. Thankfully, there's a lot of research being done about bullying. The best way to stop it is to stop it before it starts. Prevention is key. Now, I specifically talked about programs in Delaware because I assume that's where most of us live and study. Delaware law mandates that all schools have a sign prohibiting bullying clearly visible within that school. Now, if bullying does occur, it must be reported promptly to the Department of Education, and these schools who don't follow these rules can face fines and sanctions. Another example was in 2012, Governor Jack Markell created a website about bullying. It talks about prevention programs. It gives links to students or children who have been bullied and need an outlet. It's basically an education website for teens, students, parents, and administrators to gain information. The sad part is bullying is still occurring. I can talk about statistics for days. Here's a few. In 2011, the Department of Education studied 2.5 million students. 37% of the 6th graders interviewed were bullied. In another study, 22% of the 30% interviewed were bullied. Here's a strange one. 71% of middle schoolers use laptops or desktop computers. Now you might ask, why did I add this? Well, here's why. 3 million students who were interviewed about cyberbullying, 9% of them said that they were cyberbullied. Now, 9% of 3 million might not sound like a lot, but it accounts for 270,000 students. And again, boys are more likely to be physically bullied than girls. Girls are more likely to be verbally bullied. Someone who was cyberbullied 8 more times likely to bring a weapon to school. In another study of 18 participants, of the participants who had suicidal thoughts, all said that they were bullied. The only good part is that with exposure, more people will start to understand the epidemic that we have. More funds and resources will be put towards bullying programs, and that's about all I can ask for. I wish there was a simple answer to the problem, but it's complex. The bullying alarm is going off, and we can no longer hit the snooze button. Thank you.